Hello, this is Jared trying out the Prehistoric DLC of Oxygen Not Included. Last episode, I was hit with the bug that was preventing the blast shot maker from accepting enough petroleum. So that seems to be fixed, which is awesome. So now we're getting petroleum in there. And after a little bit of testing with that, I ended up getting, actually technically 3, but I don't know that I'm going to actually be using that one. We'll get rid of that setup, but we're gonna have 2 blast shot makers. I'm also going to tell technician they're not allowed up here, so technician and pyrotechnic, the 2 dupes that can create these little blast shots, we'll get them to not load them into our top area that has a meteor blaster. Okay, so in addition to that, or while we're waiting for those to be produced, thinking about ultimately changing the location of my Great Hall. I'm going to put a kitchen here, and we're going to put a food storage. I was going to automate, and still am going to automate the meat and repopulation of these stables. In fact, yeah, okay, we're in need of sending in another dupe, or a critter rather. So bring him over in here. But I don't want to have to do that. I'm hoping this is going to be the very last time. Same thing here. So I'll go choose one of these guys. It's not too old. H2 We'll send you over into here. But yeah, I don't want to produce a whole lot of meat all at once for it to potentially go bad. Let's make sure we've got a deep freezer on base. So that's my thinking. I'm also debating if I should do a different type of cooling than I normally do. Utilizing the extreme cold temperatures at the bottom of the base. We'll see when I get to that point. Oh, and let's make sure we go for do a 50 and 50 here. Otherwise, we're not going to get anywheres. Technically, I saw the dupes loading this, which is a little strange. I'm actually going to restrict the dupes from going down there then. We've got 400 kilograms of petroleum, so we're not limited by that. Everything seems happy here. Let's maybe up the priority of this building. Make that a 6. Make this a 6. There's pyrotechnic down now. Tell the dupes don't go. Let the auto sweeper do all the loading of goods. There we are. And we have a dupe going. And once again, sending one of these things to our big threat, Demolior. Health of 720. How much damage does each one of these do? It was 10. Is it more? It seems to be a little low. Okay, we'll find out in 0.3 cycles. Okay. I'm going to clear this area out just a little bit more and bring an insulated line. Not entirely, yeah, this is going to have an up and a down. We'll go clockwise around here with hydrogen. And ultimately going to be going down here to take in coolness and interact with the inside of our deep freeze. Now, let's watch these. I'm not entirely certain that is a practical way, but you know what? I'm in the mood for a little bit of experimentation, so that's how I'm going to do things this time. So Dupe's continuing to dig this out. Oh, here we are. Here we are. I actually wonder how long this will take us. Now that we actually have their production line filled up, starting basically at cycle 96. Just about 10 seconds away from the first hit, so 710. Is it still a 10 damage each? Okay. And this should take us down to 700. Oh, wow. They're starting to build up. Yep. Okay. Well, that will keep going. Maybe I produced more inner cosmic blast shots early on than I had realized. So now it is down to 700 apparently. So I told the dupes to focus with this bottom little section. Reason for that is there's a limitation of the Atmo suits. I love how this thing alerts you every time it gets smashed. It might make sense since I'm going to be consuming a lot of igneous rock to make sure that we've have a big enough source of that. Actually, we're of a highlight of igneous rock. Yeah, let's go mine some more. So I am currently out looking for some igneous rock, and I've got a bunch selected right now. But one thing I wish about this game is it's nice that you can click on this and see all the different types of things. That's a little too busy, so you can focus on minerals, which is nice. And if I was going for fossil, it would be super easy, but given the fact I'm going for igneous rock, which is one of the gray colors, it's not the best. But what would be really cool if you could actually say in here, I want igneous, and it would highlight red or something like that. Igneous, it would be much more useful. Anyway, we got the team to start to prioritize on digging out some igneous rock. Some more over here. See this thing getting smashed. 540. Jeez, we're getting close to halfway there. There's a lot of igneous rock over here. Put this together. Oh, and a dupe. You're stuck, artist. You need to be able to get back. See some meat over there that can't be reached. Some igneous rock as well. How are we doing down here? Okay, this part has been complete. Might design this little section again just because it's a little bit limited by the Atmo suits. So what I'm doing, I'm having an igneous line, as well as dig out a little bit of igneous that's around here. And then switch to gold amalgam radiant gas pipes towards the end. We'll see if that is going to be a big enough spot for those guys, or for the hydrogen to get cold enough. This is definitely a bit of a bigger project, given the long line. Wasn't expecting to kind of be like this. We are at 400 of 1,000. I don't see some of the rockets unless these rockets are like, it seems to be taking damage like even before the rockets get there. The one fast mode maybe. Okay, there we are. So cycle 99. I 102 cycles left. Scalding. Oh. Wish they'd have that scalding warning just stick it's a little bit longer so I could see where things are becoming a problem. Oh no, it's becoming a problem over here. We're making these things. I don't think I was cooling the whole area. Let's change that out. So just going to extend and maybe temporarily disable. Otherwise, we'll probably have big injury happen. We'll extend this cooling line and radiant pipes. Doing a little bit of harvesting there. Are we chopping up this liquid anywhere? Oh, we are. Good. Of course, the dupes that have to come to fix this are going to get a little warm. I understand that. At least this adds our cooling system. Over here, starting to... Yeah, we're up to 60. Let's try re-enabling this. $270. So here's our gold amalgam radiant pipes going down where it is exceptionally cold. I don't need this to be exposed. Lock this off then. Make that a priority. So otherwise we're just wasting heat or cooling. And we're celebrating getting to cycle 100. So it's 101 cycles until this thing would take us out, but that's not going to happen. We're making really good progress. If I was on hard mode, I think I have one more cycle left, which is, I think, similar pretty much how the carnivore achievement runs. So 200 more to go. I was kind of curious if I was going to get it under 100. I don't think that's going to happen, but I don't think it would be hard if I wanted it to, though, on the other hand. A few changes, and I'd probably be able to take this thing out before the end of this cycle. Okay, where are we with our pipe? Still the middle section complete, but the area under here, which I prioritize first, is done. The dupes just need to do this little section, and then this little section. Let's see. This limiting factor, if I wanted to push this out, seems to be the petroleum. I mean, our metal and peat moss is just sitting there ready to go. So I would say if you're in a hurry to take this thing out, running this thing is probably going to be, of course it's not, there's not the only fuel, but I might experiment with that after. But since I got my petroleum system running, let's keep going with that. Just this little corner left to do. Igneous rock, 68 tons, so we've got enough. Builder, get some work towards a little... Oh, suits is training. Down to 160, which would mean 16. those little missiles need to be created. I think there's gonna be nothing in our way from taking this thing out, as far as I can see. This is actually a good project of waiting for these dupes to do this while watching the countdown on our Demolior asteroid nearly taking us out. Well, nearly taking us out. It would have if we didn't make these blast shots. Now, I guess there's no graphic, or at least not in the test version, that's kind of showing. I mean, we've got this obviously, but aside from that, this thing doesn't look like it's taking damage or any hits. But it does look like it's getting bigger. Terrifyingly bigger. Let's go out and look here. Just a few. Actually, I'm curious what happens if you had a spaceship. Probably you just go around it and don't think anything would happen. You can't land on it, can you? There's no way. I'm going to say no. I'm going to have to try it someday, but I'm saying no. If you did, there'd be these missiles hitting you. All right, I think we have our line complete, so we'll work on the next part of this project. So we'll work on our deep freezer. Now, I'm a little bit concerned. It's going to be a lot of effort to move all this material out, so we'll dig it down and out of the way instead. Dig out some of the top stuff as well. Wonder how much effort is being used on this. We've got 2 dupes plus a high priority task. I guess it would just mostly be 3. Oh, but there's also the effort on the oil refinery too. So this was a 6. Maybe I'll make this a 7 because there's only specifically 2 dupes that can use these, whereas dupes that can operate can use that. Oh. Awaiting delivery igneous rock. And oh, it's not that they're out of... How's that unreachable? Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. Okay, let's dig this out. Some brine's gonna fall out, but that's okay. That can just land down here. Got a wild plant, but do we really care? Actually, instead of trying to build a wall, maybe it makes more sense to just let it flow out there. That may kill it still in the process, but I'm not overly... Actually, that's one of those butterfly critters going to make it down there. Probably not. I don't know. Let's not worry about it. $70 to go, or just 7 more rockets. Samboko Sedum. Not sure that I'm familiar with that one, actually. Miner, you're just hanging out. Okay, need more to do. So here is some of the infrastructure for my deep freezer. Getting a radiant pipe. This is basically the opposite, or the other end to this, which is going to allow me to transfer coolness from here all the way down to what will be the deep freezer. And we'll connect this in with our line here at some point. We'll do that after. Got a spot here. I'm going to temporarily be pushing in a little bit of hydrogen. Most of this is just going to be granite slab. Just carefully watching this, though. I don't want to miss the big show, so we'll let that get built. We just have a few more of these blast shots to impact on this asteroid. Time until impact 97 cycles. I mean, we are more than fine. Just 5 more. We've got 2 in the air. Time to intercept 22.1. What? Hold up, hold up. Just curious. What's going on? What happened to this guy? Time to intercept long. I mean, I think this asteroid's gonna be gone by the time this guy even has a chance to interact. Something happened. Ran out of steam? I don't know. Curious. Let's go check on our project quick. Okay, those guys putting in some of the insulation. So we've got another rocket here, 0.3 cycles. I'm glad that I wonder if that'll actually be sitting there after the meteor is done. What we can do with it, I don't know, if anything. Anyway, 4 more. So I'm building this from the bottom down in terms of the tiling. Otherwise, it's awkward to have to do squeeze tiles in. 3 more. There's the first of the 3. Assuming this guy's going to do nothing. Just curious. If I were to just restart my game, is this going to recalculate and maybe do a hit? And let's find out. Just restarted my game. We'll let things go. And no! It still thinks that it's going to intercept. I think this thing will be here, and it's like... that, yeah. I think it is going nowheres, but thankfully we have more of these blast shots on the way. I'm going to start the process. I think I actually might have to have a bottom access here to get things kicked off. A granite slab like this. 2 more. One's in the air. I'm sure we've got another one. Oh, this is the final one. Going up in space. So this guy is less than a minute away. I'll slow things down once... Oh, this is interesting. We have more blast shots in the air than we actually need. Okay, I'm actually curious what's going to happen. Yep, move out of the way. So just 1 more, even though 2 are there. 0.2 cycles. Wow, let's have to speed things up. Check on our little project quick. Oh, okay, it's going well. Let's continue with our granite slab. Make this priority first. Okay, so it is just 1 more with like 30 seconds to go. Let's just pause it here. Keep extending that like that, guys. And this like that. I think we're okay to do that. This, and this. Okay, that just gives them a few things to work on while we watch this go down. And I'll unlock a blueprint. Be something lucky just before this takedown of this asteroid. I think I had that before. Whatever. And another rocket in the distance. 13 seconds. 10. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Okay, this is nice that it takes you to... We did it! Good job, team. I knew you could do it. Little bit of a petroleum... A little a disaster. We've blasted the impactor asteroid into oblivion. There remains hunks of debris that are orbiting at a safe distance. So I guess we can go get a rocket and go visit them. Initial scans of these remnants indicate the presence of harvestable resources, including iridium, a metal new to our colony. It never ceases to amaze me how much of the universe we have yet to discover. Oh, and is this achievement? Probably is. I didn't even think about that. Of course, it's going to have to rattle through all the other achievements that I got. I suspect it's at the bottom. Going back to Vale. Last line of defense. The current colony hasn't fulfilled this initiative. The Prehistoric Planet DLC initiative. Why did it take me here then? Anyway. Let's go look in space. There's the... Oh! Just have a thought. I've destroyed this here, so the remnants are located here. Is it advantageous to destroy this thing last minute? Okay, the other thing I was curious about, what happens to the other rockets, including that one that was going to take 20 or so cycles? They just disappear. But yeah, if I had to destroy this early down here, I mean, that would be insane. I don't even know how I'd do that. But if I had to wait it until it was to this point, it'd be a little bit easier to visit. Anyway, just random thought on that. Wow. So we are no longer at risk of being annihilated. The warning is gone. Very cool. So just took a moment to have a closer look. It's kind of interesting this is split over two. You get molten Demolior debris, and then you've got just Demolior debris. The graphic almost kind of looks like it's a test graphic, so I suspect by the time this is released, this will look different. But let's see what there is inside. We've got I'm assuming what's going to be very hot stuff, because it says molten iridium. That's 37%. Magma and liquid oxygen and liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen. Wouldn't that be cold? Liquid oxygen would be cold because it's nice. It's nice to get those things only at 6%, but it kind of doesn't make sense to me why you would get something if I'm understanding that correctly. Okay, moving on. Anyways. Then we got granite, mafic, rock, gold, nice, iridium here. So we've got molten iridium and just normal iridium. So I guess this one will be a little bit colder. 17% versus 37%. So you get more of it here. Let's have a look at what this is, what you can do with it. You can turn it, I guess, into molten and just its rock form. Freezing point 45, 40. 2445 evaporates at 4,000 or so degrees. Thermoconductivity seems pretty high, but is there any special properties? Let's go look. Overheat temperature 500. Decor is plus 20. Nice. Okay, I think that is going to be the key thing there. Oh, wow. Okay. That is exciting. think I'm going to finish then. I was in the middle of this deep freezer project. We may end it here. We may not. I'll get this project done, and then we'll see where I go for today. There's a lot more to examine on this asteroid. I've set up stables, but there's definitely tweaking that needs to, more knowledge, more to be explored. Okay, so we've got that. Let's get in some more piping. So we're going to connect this. I brought in our connection from the bottom, where we're producing lots of hydrogen. We'll start spinning this in. I think if I were to do a normal playthrough, this is not how I would approach this. Unless the distance to this area was a little bit smaller. So we need actually maybe you focus on the top line, because that will allow us to start loading in hydrogen first. And I guess there's no need to produce any more of these things. Can you strike anything? I'm curious. Can you go and I guess we'd have to uncover an asteroid and see if you can actually hit it. I don't know that would actually be advantageous, though, or even possible. The other thing that I wonder is there any more that's ever going to be on the way? I'm assuming no. I'm assuming we are now safe. But if it was the case, we're all prepared to produce some more of those. Okay, so we'll just have one more pipe ready to go there. And we are starting to load in some hydrogen into this zone. Let me grab this, and we'll continue on with our project. Next part of this setup is to put in a few fridges, but ideally I'd like to have that in carbon dioxide. So we're going to tap into our carbon dioxide line. Actually, I don't really pretty much have a pure carbon dioxide, but we'll get a mix and we'll see what happens. Eventually, it will kind of work itself out such that we only get carbon dioxide down there. See that? It looks like we've got enough hydrogen. That means that the other hydrogen should be flowing. I don't know that there's a need to get rid of this gas event. Let's just do it anyway. Okay, and then what we'll do is seal this off, because this is going to now be hydrogen that is on its way. You're consuming. Did I not ever connect that again? Apparently not. And as I'm around here, I remember Cedric mentioned to do some insulation around this, just because these plants... oh yeah, 0, which they're at -14, not at threat of at the moment, but it is warm on this side, so we definitely need to do insulation. Maybe I will do that at high priority right now, in fact. So here's my plan for insulation to make sure that these guys still produce lots of hydrogen, because that's a great power source for us to be able to keep exploring this asteroid. Some of the different features in that. Now that we don't have to worry about extinction. Normally I do a liquid airlock, but I'm just in a more experimental mood. So taking 2 doors, putting a pump in it. Because I'm not expecting dupes to have to go in here often. Not too worried about this. If it was a spot where... You know, when dupes do... This one might actually be okay. Maybe I'll keep this one. The issue down here is going to be that when dupes do open this, this is a highly pressured area. So actually, maybe we'll change that out. Let's see how this works out. So just a few more tiles to go. Excellent. I'll even create some tiling on the side like that and that to kind of minimize the amount of gas going in and out. Make that done. Hydrogen being taken out of here. And eventually we'll get there with a vacuum, but I will do the liquid airlock in the bottom section because I think that'll be important to have instead of that style. Let's let this go. I'm going to try loading in water from above by just letting it fall in. Get this construction done first. See up here, yeah, we did get a weird mix of gases. Oh my. I guess I was not collecting gas. In fact, let's go have a look. I understand that we get natural gas. We're looking for non-oxygen anyway. There's that. As well as down there, we could very well be getting sour gas as well. Maybe open that up like that. But yeah, not a clean... Actually, having chlorine's not the end of the world. I don't know if that dupes find that irritating. I think they do. Natural gas, I'm pretty sure the only thing that's kind of safe for dupes is carbon dioxide. Let's stop this. I don't think that's actually a great source of carbon dioxide. Actually, we'll come back to that. Just a few more tiles to go. In fact, I think we can give the command to drop that. So, I don't think it's the end of the world, but if I don't take this out, I'd be getting some of non-hydrogen in this room. Which probably not cause an issue, but why? Why do that? And remind myself, this doesn't actually work unless is that? Because that doesn't. This can just be regular tile. Because we're gonna make a vacuum here. Excellent. And yeah, Atmos suits because this is going to be a very difficult place to go into. So for now, we're just going to put in one Atmos suit. I think that's going to be fine because the only dupe that needs to go in here is just attending to these plants every so often. Get our vacuum start. Actually, before we make that a vacuum, do that and that. We're going to need an oxygen line going in. So we're doing this little thing here. Tap into our oxygen line. And feed this into our Atmos suits. Got no power. Oh, yeah. A lot running on this. I'm going to be making it worse. See, we've got a vacuum up here. And any other leak in this zone, I think we're good. Wrong L. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, we need to do this. Take that out. Disconnect that. And we'll send oxygen in. Let's just disable this guy for the time being so we can get in here. Someone should be able to make this wire for us. As well as deliver. Actually, I don't know if we have any more of these guys. Atmos suit. Cobalt. Let's make a few of those. All I need to do is disable this. Wait for that to be a vacuum. Well, I don't have to wait. I was blocking the dupes from going in and out here now. Let's enable this. And other than waiting for the vacuum, which I don't think we need to stand around and do, we are good to go back over here and finish this project. Actually, let's just have a look. Have things going. Okay, the temperature has dropped. This is working. Is it going to work overall? I don't know, but it's so far working. We've got minus, very cold hydrogen making its way up here. The only thing I'm worried about, are we losing a bit of the heat? We're getting more and more hydrogen in the line. But so we started bringing up hydrogen from this point. At a minus 100, have we lost much in the transfer of just this? Minus, a bit. Now we're bringing in a smoker, which I have not tested yet, plus the electric grill. And I am definitely still concerned about that circuitry at the bottom, so we're going to add in another transformer and split this off right here. Maybe we'll put this back together as well. So there, smoker requires gas. What type of gas? Natural gas, maybe? I don't know. No gas. Oh, it's a gas output. Watch it be carbon dioxide. Which I could have used down there. That's fine. Just trying to see. Maybe you have to click on here to see what type of gas it outputs. Carbon dioxide. I figured. Okay, well, I will find a place for that. We'll plug in the power. Let's just see if this project, finish this first. I guess all I need to do is snap this and put that like that. So we're running a little bit less now off of that one line. So the next part of all of this is to install some wiring. Get that automated lights in there. So I can't remember, was there any actual power? No, so there's no power actually needed to the smoker. But what is needed then? Heat, peat moss, peat. Or wood. Or peat or wood. Okay, so basically peat or wood. Given the where we are, I'm going to say that's going to be peat. Where can you access? Maybe we'll put some peat storage down here then. And we're going to stop making anything over here. And instead, we'll get... let's make a few frost buns just for fun. Oh, that's out of the mega fund. Barbecue meats. One final thing I might want, I didn't really think about this, but I want some place to bring in stuff for storage from around the base. We'll do that right there. You might need access dupes. let's put in some peat moss here. And what I'm going to ask for is things like anything well, it wouldn't be meat, but barbecue. Meat, for instance, if you've got any. None at the moment, though there is lots of meat. So we should find the electric grill being used. Okay. Let's find out how this thing works. Oh, tough meat. Or the okay, so some of the food we can't eat. Oh, but sweet corn. Okay, which we actually are always in production of. But you've got to use peat. You get 75 tons. And that creates veggie poppers, which has a morale +4. It's qualities +2. Okay, I mean, better. I'm sure it's better than what was or what it gives naturally. Veggie poppers. Let's go have a look. Veggie poppers. So you start off with sweet corn. Combine it with peat moss, and you get veggie poppers. So calorie-wise, it enhances it quite a bit. And what was we start off with -1 to +2, I believe it was. So that's awesome. Waiting for materials. Let's get that loaded, dupes. A little confused why. Where is our meat? Can we locate? Oh, it's all. Some of it's located up there. Maybe just making that a priority thing. Okay, there we are. Chef is on it. Someone has loaded materials to make some of this veggie popper. Oh, that's the frost bun. Okay, so all the cooked products need to go in here. So that's barbecue meat. That's frost bun. And the idea is this is going to go into our flash freezing zone. Make sure that's working. Oh, we missed it. Okay, we'll get more. So the auto sweeper is picking this up. So this is going in at 74 degrees. Going through all this space here, taking in some cooling. Already down to 5. And the negative. And we're at -5, though. I think the actual deep freezer is not cold enough. So there's a little bit of a risk of stuff going bad until this actually gets cold enough. But we'll see what happens. May have to get in there and fix that. But before I go, maybe I'll give them... Oh, this takes a bit. This takes a bit. Does it give you a time? It does, 600 seconds. Okay, fair enough. So with the carbon dioxide that we're going to be getting, figured I'll add in an extra gas reservoir. But we also need to, it's important to make this a small amount, maybe 2 kilograms, and put in some of the food here, such as frost bun, so the dupes have access to it. Auto Super should pick that up, but that's not the only thing. We don't have any barbecue meat at the moment, but when we do, we'll have that. And what was the other one? Veggie. I thought it was called veggie popper. Oh, no, we don't. No, we haven't created it yet, but maybe that's just because it hasn't landed, and therefore I can't select for something that it doesn't know. I don't think that... Well, maybe that is true. Actually, you know what? Even though I don't have that, we might as well select that. The only thing is it's going to land, and because I haven't seen it before, I'm going to have to come back here and actually select this at this time, such as when this reaches the completion stage of this process. Also, I marked some digging out of some geysers. Cool slush. Okay, well, let's definitely crack into that. And hydrogen, I probably would go into that if we didn't have a cooler source of hydrogen, so probably will be ignoring that, to be honest. Maybe just in case that is active, we'll make a focus on making that wall first. I'm assuming that Cook has to be the one to do this, given the fact that Chef is here. That's probably very likely. So when this is done, it does require a duplicate effort. I don't know what he's doing. He's trying to turn something. Get it open. There we go. So there is our veggie poppers. Just wondering if I've got all this set up right. I think this is going to be the higher priority. Veggie poppers to be put in there. So let's go, have that go in. So it's going to go in, get itself cooled nice and down, several parts of that. It's good that I see multiple of these being produced from one turn, actually, because it takes so long. Tough meat gives you 20,000 calories. Smoker gives you 11,000. And let's make sure this makes that the highest priority of all. But let's get in what we have just produced. Veggie poppers. That way we'll always have a food source available. But any of the food that doesn't eat will start to freeze down here. Also taking the temperature. I don't know if there's a point in blocking this. Maybe there is, because right now we're just losing heat in the line. Or I could just let it run. It's almost at the point that it should be, at least, at a minimum. I think the natural place to go would be to automate a stable over here, because there's just far too many of these critters. But I might actually instead do a little bit of... Oh, so these plants are not happy. Oh, because the pressure is too high. Okay, that probably gives rise to not wanting to have the oxygen diffuser. I put that there just so the dupes could go in here and breathe. But yeah, and then there's the question. I just threw this again in here. I don't think it's really doing anything. What's the value there? And there's also plants that I haven't even looked at. So I'm going to end it here for today, but I think when I come back, expect a lot of experimentations, probably set up automation around this stable, see if that works well, and then start to dip into the specifics of each of the plants and critters and seeing what I can use them for. Alright, well, this is Jer playing Oxygen Not Included. We saved ourselves no more big asteroid. We've got a clear sky up there, just stars in the far distance. Anyways, we'll see where this series goes from here. Oh, and just see also that Mimica I think because this farm's bigger than the others, 2 is not enough. So maybe we need to add in 1 more of those. Anyway, it's something I can experiment with when I come back. Till then. Just a bonus section here. I have a theory I want to leave you with, and that has to do with the achievements. I think what happened is I am supposed to get the blast line of defense. The current colony hasn't fulfilled this. Blast Demolior asteroid 0 of 1,000. I have. My assumption is that in the testing version you can't actually get it, but if I were to do this again in the final version, I would. I think that was different with the data-driven most valuable. I'm pretty sure I got these in the test version. Anyway, we'll see when the game is officially released.